Think love is scary? You're not the only one. See what USC students fear the most about finding love.
The students that are ready to put themselves out there seem to have a reason to be scared of love. Watch these tender nightmares next.
And a USC band is making waves. Hear how Smashing Hearts can help you kick off Valentine's Day weekend.
This is your brain on drugs.
Tonight on The Current, we're going to be looking at love, sex, and relationships. Welcome, I'm Cindy Robinson.
And I'm Aaron Hendel. We start by looking at what's actually going on inside your head when you fall in love.
That's right, Aaron. Scientists are discovering more about what happens to the brain in love. As it turns out, it's a lot like how the brain reacts to any addictive substance. Intense romantic love stimulates the brain's reward system in the same way as cocaine, or even just chocolate. When you fall in love or eat something delicious, your brain responds by producing a feel-good chemical called dopamine. That helps transmit messages from the primal regions of the brain to the prefrontal cortex. That's the area responsible for higher-order thinking, like making decisions. Stimulating this pleasure pathway is the reason it's so difficult to kick addiction to drugs or alcohol, and why breaking up is just so hard to do. It's difficult to deny the evidence that love is a drug, but if you're going to be addicted to anything, you might as well be addicted to love. And while addiction can be frightening, that's not what scares people the most about the four-letter word. Reporter Ariba Alvi has more.
Thanks, Helen. So I wanted to find out why some people find love so frightening. I put this board out across from Tommy Trojan and asked people to write down what scares them the most about love. Take a look at what they said.
I think for me, I tend to be a person who's very invested in my convictions and what I believe in, so it's just like that fear of being like more invested than the other person.
My mother always tells me expectations are the root cause of worry.
Kendrick Lamar has a lyric. He says, you know, love is more than a verb, it's you looking in the mirror. And I actually believe that. Like, I think people need to know that, like, they can love themselves, and they have to love themselves either more or at the same level that they love other people.
Personally, I don't think you should let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game, even if it comes with challenges.
A lot of people dislike Valentine's Day because of the expectations. For LGBT couples, the holiday can bring even more stress. We visited the LGBT Resource Center's new Lavender Lounge to find out how one student feels about celebrating.
I find it easier just to go on the 15th or the 13th rather than, oh my god, it has to be the 14th, you know, because then you don't have to worry about reservations as much and stuff. And you know, you don't have to like feel uncomfortable when you're out like with people, like all these heterosexual couples around you, like staring at you, being like, oh my god, look, it's the queer couple or whatever.
Joining us now is Annenberg media reporter Jen Mack Ramos, who has covered the issue of romance in the LGBT community. Thank you for joining us, Jen.
Happy to be here.
All couples face challenges on Valentine's Day. What kind of challenges do LGBT couples face?
There's a man in a relationship and a woman in a relationship, and those roles try to be replicated in queer relationships, but that's not entirely true. So there's a lot of expectations where they have to play to straight norms, whereas that's not necessarily the case.
And how have these challenges affected your plans or past experiences?
Well, one of the things that I've noticed as a queer person myself is that even though I'm in a seemingly straight relationship, my identity as someone who is queer sometimes gets erased. So a lot of people don't take into account that people who are in straight relationships might be queer.
So can you clarify for those who don't know, what do you mean exactly when you say queer but in a straight relationship?
A person who is queer may be attracted to someone of the same gender or multiple genders, but present themselves as a straight couple, and they're dating someone of the opposite sex.
All right, well, Jen, thank you very much for joining us, and have a great Valentine's Day.
Thank you, you too.
So whether or not you have a Valentine, you've probably checked out the dating app Tinder. Chances are you even have a horror story or two about it, just like these students.
People on Tinder are, frankly, pretty blunt.
I would say men on Tinder just treat women like objects.
Oh, my experience with Tinder has honestly been dreadful. Did you fall from heaven? A minute later, part 2, because so did Satan.
Hey, 5 minutes later. Hey, what's up? 5 minutes later. I'll get you an Uber.
Hey, sexy. Me. Mind you that 2 days had passed in between each of these messages. So yeah, you could say it was really warranted.
Also the classic, like they just send you a message and ask for nudes.
Hey, hi, do you talk dirty? Or hey, hi, nudes.
I would battle a pack of rabid monkeys in a banana store with my shake weight super glued to my forehead and my hands tied behind my back while blindfolded, just for a chance of a spaghetti meal with you.
You spend all of this time looking through pictures being like, is this really worth swiping right on? And then you swipe right and you don't even match, and you say to yourself, well, I just wasted 25 seconds of my life perusing this profile.
How many times I've deleted and re-downloaded Tinder, that's a daily thing. That's not even a real question.
I've probably deleted Tinder a solid 15 times and then re-downloaded it.
I re-download Tinder, delete it or whatever, mostly because I realize I have nothing to do while I'm peeing.
I'm gonna delete it right now.
There's always that little flame symbol that just kind of irks you, and it's like, download me.
You're so much better off meeting someone in a coffee shop or in like a normal social situation.
Using dating apps will never be a winning situation for me because I'm much more about like the in-person click.
Why not try going out in public and meeting people for real, you know?
There are a lot of dating apps, but one USC student thought there was room for one more. Gianni Coleman co-founded SoulSwipe, a dating app designed specifically for members of the Black community. Thanks for joining us, Gianni.
Thank you for having me.
So, where did the idea for SoulSwipe come from?
LA itself has a very unique situation. It's extremely diverse and it's extremely spread out. And so many African American singles don't even know each other exist. And what we wanted to do was create a community where they can discover each other. And it started off very fast and got big very fast in Los Angeles and then spread out throughout the nation so far.
So, what kind of celebrities do you get to use the app, or have you seen using the app? I know maybe people might not want to be open about it, but...
Yeah, as far as celebrities that we've got to use the app, there's no celebrities that we've reached out to and tried to get to use the app in any way, shape, or form. As far as celebrities that we have noticed on the app, I can say that we have seen Big Sean on the app.
Oh, wow.
We have seen Drake on the app.
What? So can you tell us any success stories?
One success story I can think of, I have a friend who I went to school with at a community college before I transferred to USC. And she said she's found somebody and they're hitting it off and she loves it. And she says she met him through SoulSwipe.
Wow.
And I was so happy for her, and I was like, is this guy good? Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, is he good? And then she was like, no, Gianni, I'm really happy. And as it turns out, the guy that she had a connection with wasn't even African American.
Oh, wow, see? Mm-hmm. So that shows you can use SoulSwipe if you're not African American.
Absolutely.
So what's next for SoulSwipe?
As far as what's next for SoulSwipe, I would say we have a version 2 coming out later on in 2016. Wow. I'm not going to disclose the exact date of when that's coming out, but it is coming out. I've seen the prototype of it, and I'm excited about it. It's a different look than the SoulSwipe that people currently have in their phones right now. It allows our users to do more, it allows our users to connect more, and there's even a new feature that you haven't seen on any mobile dating app. And all I will say is when the update is ready, our users will find out.
Oh, how exciting. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Gianni.
Of course.
If you want to download SoulSwipe, you can find it in the App Store or in the Google Play Store.
With apps like Tinder and SoulSwipe, it's easy for students to take advantage of the hookup culture here. But some members of the USC community are choosing not to participate. Annenberg Media reporter Ivana Nguyen spoke with 2 USC students about the stigma they face because they're saving themselves for marriage.
According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, the average age Americans lose their virginity is around 17 years old. Moreover, there are less than 10% of males from age 20 to 44 who are virgins before entering marriage.
I'm glad I'm a virgin because I think it's a good thing because I feel like I'm honoring my marriage so that when I do have a wife, she'd be the only woman I'm with, and I feel like that's the best way of nurturing and taking care of that relationship.
I'm a virgin because there are things in this life that take patience to wait for, but they far exceed the pleasures that we receive now.
Religion is the primary reason behind Kaijan's and Scott's abstinence, who are both saving themselves for marriage.
I've never dated anyone, and that's because the first person I want to date is the person I want to get married to.
When two people have sex, that's when two flesh become one flesh and they become intertwined.
Virginity is often used to define a man's masculinity. For Kaijan, the media and peer pressure that surrounds being a virgin doesn't get to him.
Like, it's kind of childish, like everywhere on social media, on YouTube, all the comments that you see is like, oh, you're a virgin, oh, you're a kid. Oh, but virginity doesn't determine whether you're a man or not.
Smashing Hearts is a local band recently signed by Sony Records. They have a concert in Hollywood ahead of Valentine's Day, and the timing is far from a coincidence. Smashing Hearts isn't a somber, lonely Valentine's Day poem. On the contrary, it's a boy band consisting of a USC student, his cousins, and lifelong friends who throw, or rather smash, several musical genres together to create a new, unique sound.
I would describe our genre as indie pop, I would call it. We're also kind of like defining our own genre as so cosmic, and it's something new, something on the edge of the future that we're thinking of. It's just like a fusion of a lot of genres that we like.
With a concert at the Troubadour nightclub in Hollywood this Friday, the band offers both a change of pace from the typical Valentine's music, as well as some same old traditional sounds.
Yo, this is Smashing Hearts.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So if you're looking for a unique way to celebrate Valentine's Day, head to the Troubadour in Hollywood Friday night to see the Smashing Hearts live in concert.
While I love you is only 3 words, a picture says 1,000. We asked for your cutest couple photos and you answered. Take a look at these USC students with their significant others. Thank you to everyone who sent in photos. We hope you guys have fun celebrating together this weekend.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming show, look for opportunities on our social media. You can follow Annenberg Media on Twitter and Facebook.
Next week, we'll explore diversity. Tell us what you think about USC's campus climate by tweeting your thoughts with the hashtag #TheCurrent. From all of us here at Annenberg, thanks for joining us.
And happy Valentine's Day.